In order to optimize your camera for a copy scene, meaning taking pictures of books or a photograph for documentation purposes, there are really just a couple things you need to keep in mind. One, because we're close to the subject, you want to use the macro mode. So very simply, just move your focusing switch down to the middle option. This will set your camera to macro. Next thing, you want to make sure that the ISO is set properly. And if you like, you can even set the white balance, even though setting the white balance for documentation purposes is irrelevant, because all you need to see is the text, and the color of the text is really not that important. So let's go ahead and press the quick menu button, hold that down for a second, and then we'll go through these options, making sure that they're all set up properly. Go to ISO. If you're in a low light situation like a library and you're copying text out of a book, then you're going to want to increase the ISO. If you can use the flash, I'll show you how to do that, but you have to be pretty careful. You might want to try it and see if it doesn't blow out the picture, because it may overexpose the image and all the text, and so you won't be able to use it. So if you can't use the flash, increase the ISO. Use your joystick to go down. I'll choose 400. Move over to white balance. Here too, I can leave it on auto white balance. Again, as I mentioned, it's not relevant for these purposes, but I'll just go down to select halogen because I'm assuming that is the lighting used indoors. That's pretty much it for the quick menu. I'll just press the button here to escape. And now what I want to do is press my shutter button halfway, focus on my target, and I want to look at the shutter speed to make sure that it's fast enough so I can handhold the shot. In my case, I have plenty of light here, so 1/1000th of a second is just fine. I can easily handhold that. But in your case, if it is a low light situation, such as a library, then your shutter speed will be much slower. And if it's slower than 1/30th of a second, you may want to either increase the ISO or, as I mentioned, try using the flash. To use the flash, just go ahead and pop the flash. And you don't want to use the basic flash. You want to decrease the power of the flash. Again, we're very close to the subject, and you don't want the flash to overpower the subject. So press the up navigation button to access exposure compensation. Press it again to get to bracketing, and a third time to get to your flash exposure value. Then you can either press the right or left buttons to change the value of the flash, or you can just use the quick menu joystick to move it down to the left. I would recommend going with -2 because you are so close to the subject. You want the flash to illuminate the subject, but be as low power as possible. So we'll just press menu to exit. And now you're ready to take your picture. Go ahead and press the shutter button halfway, focus on your target, recompose the image, and then press the shutter button the rest of the way. If you see that the flash overpowered the picture, just go ahead and push it down to close the flash and increase the ISO, then try taking another picture. To find out much more about digital photography and your digital camera, go to lbguides.com.